I'm just gonna go straight to the time machine because I gotta get some sleep and I just want to get this done. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification as we are gonna get ready for some Sonics basketball. And here we are. I acknowledge that no one's probably gonna watch this, but whatever. Oh, I also got to going to be Dominique Wilkins. He's going to be visiting Seattle as he has already became the former Seattle Supersonic. I will assure that the fans will give him some kind of a standing ovation that he does deserve. Bench Respite though, because Respite is just absolutely atrocious. He's going to miss some time. I'm going to have Andrew Gaze be the backup shooting guard. Let's see where this goes. I don't even need this. Watson. Oh, man. Where's Wilkins? Is Wilkins not even playing? You gotta be kidding me. They're not even playing Dominique Wilkins. Like, what happened to him? Is he, like, injured or something? He is on the bench. Isn't that great? So he plays off the bench. Here's Jerome James. He jumps it. Jamie Watson's got it. Now here's Ruben Patterson. Oh, loses the ball already. Steve Smith comes up with it. Hello, Daniel Barry. Here's Greg Anthony for three. No, here's Mutombo. And he will go to the line as he was heavily defended by Jerome James. And he misses that first basket. Not a good start, especially on both teams. Mutombo makes the second one as Atlanta gets on the board. And here's Jamie Watson. Over to Jerome James. He shouldn't be up there in the three-point arc. There's Rashard Lewis, who was taken over for Dominique Wilkins. And here's Watson. Gets it right to the basket, and the Sonics take the lead. So, yeah, Rashard Lewis, I know I've said it so many times, he did get his first starting opportunity away from Dominique Wilkins ever since that trade of Dominique Wilkins to Atlanta, which was pick swaps for the after the 99-2000 season, basically first round pick swaps. Here's Dennis Rodman. He gets his own rebound and he makes it. It's I think it's like two rebounds right now. It's just one rebound. So yeah, they traded him. So that gave Rashard Lewis the starting job, and he has just been on fire he's been shooting pretty well. He could be a 20-point scorer already in his rookie season. And that is a foul. Makes you wonder what they're going to do with Rashard Lewis. Here's Greg Anthony for Steve Smith and misses, and Watson gets the rebound. And here is Rashard Lewis. He's going to try to go all the way, and he makes it. And the Sonics now take a 6-3 lead. Sonics have fallen 2 in a row ever since they won 2 in a row. It's Jalen Rose over to Steve Smith. Jalen Rose is now the starting point guard. Now here's Steve Smith, guarded by Rodman, but he's able to get it in anyway. Here's Rodman. No, and the turnover. Oh, looks like a three-pointer by Jalen Rose. And Jerome, no, it's a steal by Steve Smith. Here is Greg Anthony. He was the former Seattle Supersonic from last season. Jalen Rose for three. And here's Mutombo, and he makes it. Mutombo's crashing the boards. Meanwhile, Sonics have got to step up. And now it's a steal by Anthony. And now here's Ruben Patterson. Still couldn't get the block on him. This is not a good start for Seattle. Here's Rashard Lewis trying to post up, and he makes it. Rashard Lewis gets the basket. Now Greg Anthony being guarded. And nice pass over to Mutombo. And the Hawks are just roaring out right now. Here's Jamie Watson trying to post up. Here's Jerome James. Lewis goes for the long shot and misses, and Rose with the rebound. And December 10th, when they played at Seattle, that's when Dominique Wilkins made a return to Atlanta. Wasn't his first return, and now it's a steal by Patterson. And now here is Rashard Lewis with the dunk. Lewis is now 3 for 4. Now here is Greg Anthony. And there's Travis or Bo Outlaw and Mutombo. Here's Jerome James. Nice bounce pass, and he makes it. And timeout has been called by Atlanta. Still 16-12. There's Mutombo. He makes it. Here's Jerome James. Trying to hook, here's a shot. And he is fouled. He was trying to post up on Mutombo. And free throws made. No, he misses the free throw. And he makes the second one. And pass over to Jalen Rose. And now you're Steve Smith. And now we've got Jamie Watson. Lewis for 3. Oh, nice. He makes it from downtown. Now you're Steve Smith for 3. Steve Smith from downtown. Patterson for 3. And he makes it. And that's a foul. And free throws been made. Now here's Jamie Watson. Here's Rashard Lewis. Watson's going to try to take it up. Oh, and he gets blocked. I'm just texting a friend. Oh, Jalen Rose for 3. And Crawford with the rebound. And he's fouled. And count it. And he is going to go to the line, I believe. Now here's Jerome James passing it in to Jamie Watson. And he might have an open basket. He's fouled, and he will go to the line. Watson with the free throws, and he makes it. And there's another free throw. Good again. It's now 28-20. Now it's going to be a double team effort. And now here's Perry for three. He makes it. Perry from downtown. He killed the Sonics last time. Now it's 31-20. And now here's Jerome James. And he gets absolutely blocked. And goes out of bounds. And Rodman with the rebound. Here's Jamie Watson to Ruben Patterson for three. And out of bounds, Hawks ball. And now it's a steal by Watson. And now here is Ruben Patterson with the dunk. I'm telling my friend that it was Steve Francis, Sean Marion, Elton Brand, Ron Artest. And now Patterson with the rebound. He goes for a dangerous pass. Gets it to Rodman. He's going to try to make the layup. No, he's not going to make it. Now here is Gray. And he gets absolutely embarrassed. Now here's Jamie Watson. Lewis for three. He makes it. Rashard Lewis is now the leading scorer for the Sonics. 11 points. And we got 10 seconds left in the quarter. Here's Perry. He's trying to get around. He gets around Watson for a shot. Now it's what are we going to do for the last shot? Here is Rashard Lewis going for the jumper. And Jerome James kind of had the rebound, but he misses. Now we're going to get the bench out. We're going to put in 40-year-old Alton Lister. Because I forgot to put in Jelani McCoy. And a steal by Alton Lister. Just happens to be there. Now here's Andrew Gaze to Stevens for three. And he just picks up from when he left off. Andrew Gaze is guarding. He made his debut the other day. Scored 14 points. Here's Gray. And here's Johnson for three. He makes it. It is now a 10-point Atlanta lead. Now here's Shammond Williams. Gets it to Andrew Gaze for three. Andrew Gaze from downtown. He is showing some of his value. He's already more efficient than Sean Resprit, as Resprit is just very streaky. Now here's Gray, blocked by Stevens. And here's Bo Outlaw. He makes the lay-in. Sonics have all their three-point shooters back. And here is Lister. He misses the point-blank shot. I mean, what do you expect from a 40-year-old Lister who probably still thinks about the Sean Kemp? And now it's a steal by Williams. And now here is Andrew Gaze. He loses the ball, and now it's stolen by Bo Outlaw. Here comes Johnson. And Alton Lister's unable to get that block. Here's Shammond Williams. Goes for the three. He misses. Dominique Wilkins gets that rebound. He did get a standing ovation. Here's Mario Bennett. Alton Lister with the rebound. Gets it to Andrew Gaze. And he is fouled. But I like the aggressiveness as he goes to the line. Goes for the free throw. He makes it. He's an undrafted out of Seton Hall. He makes his free throws. He's arguably more efficient than Sean Respret already. Here's Johnson. And a kickball violation. And Steve Smith goes for the shot, and he makes it. It's now 44-33. Alton Lister gets the pass in. Here's Andrew Gaze. He takes it from up top. Pass to Lister. He's going to try to post up. Nearly loses it. And now Stevens for three. In and out. And now it's rebounded by given to Greg Anthony. And Anthony, he misses. Gets it to Shammond Williams. Pulls up for three. And he makes it this time. Shammond Williams has been easily one of the best scorers for the Sonics, but he is still griping about his minutes because he still wants more minutes. Now here's Mutombo. There's Greg Anthony. And rebound Bennett. Gets it to Andrew Gaze. Nice bounce pass to Stevens for the dunk. Andrew Gaze has already been contributing for the Sonics, considering that he was previously waived. Now here's Johnson. And rebound Alton Lister. Gets it to Stevens. A nice bounce pass to Andrew Gaze. They're going to get their starters back on. But the Sonics are coming back with their bench. Their bench players are playing much better. Now here's Johnson. And here's Mutombo. And he makes it. Now here's Shammond Williams with the rebound. Gaze for three. He makes another one. Andrew Gaze from downtown. Is now 46-43. And a potential steal it was, but it wasn't to be. Here's Johnson, guarded by Williams. And Lister with the nice block, and that's going to be a foul, and now they're going to put back their starters in. And a three-pointer by Greg Anthony. Now the starters have checked back in. To Rashard Lewis. Probably should have made that one more pass, but he makes it anyway. And now it's just a 4-point game. It's amazing what these bench players can do from downtown. Stevens was making his shots. And then you had Andrew Gaze scoring. Even Shammond Williams. And he knocks down Jalen Rose. And Jamie Watson is now on his third personal foul. I think they're going to have to take him out of the game for the moment. There's Greg Anthony. He makes the shot. And James gets it. It was nearly stolen. Here's Rodman. Does he have a jump shot in him? Nope. Watson for three. And Jerome James with his second foul of the game. Sonics have been fouling hard. mean, a lot of these players, I don't know if they're. And here's Jalen Rose for 3. No. And it's not like any of these players are going to be like all-star type players. They're more contributors for other teams to support. Lewis for 3. Dennis Rodman, what were you doing? And there's Tyronn Lue. Steve Smith. And misses. And now blocked by Lewis. And he makes it. Here is Jerome James. And blocked by Mutombo. And here comes Steve Smith. And misses. And Tyronn Lue commits the foul. 2 minutes left in the quarter until we go into the half. Lewis for 3. Now here's Dennis Rodman. Was on defense. Patterson with the foul. The Hawks are hanging in the 8th seed. It's very unclear where this team is going to be after this season. They just got back. And it's not like the team has done any better with Dominique Wilkins on the team. Lewis for 3. He misses. And Steve Smith makes another one. Now it's a 14-5 lead. 14-5 run over Rashard Lewis. Patterson for 3. Here's Dennis Rodman. And he makes it off the rebound. Rodman has 4 points. Rashard Lewis with 13. Here's Jalen Rose. And Dennis Rodman just couldn't get on him. Now here's Tyronn Lue to Rashard Lewis. Now here's Jerome James. And he is fouled. And he will go to the line. Jerome James hasn't really been doing much at all. And he's missing his free throws. He'll go for it again. And he misses them both. Lewis for 3. He makes it. Goaltending by Jerome James. Does Jerome James even have any blocks right now? James has no blocks, only scored 3 points. He has just been getting overwhelmed by Mutombo. Considering that he played very well against David Robinson. There's Jerome James. He makes it. He was able to sneak that in there. 64-52. Now here's Steve Smith. Goes for the fadeaway. And now there are only seconds left. And here's Rashard Lewis going for the heave. He misses. And now we're going to go into the half. I'm going to put some notes in there. Atlanta, Steve Smith has been doing most of the scoring as he checked in from the bench. He was given a standing ovation. Jerome James struggled in the first half with no rebounds and no blocks. Sonics starters mostly struggled as the Sonics bench did more of the work with great shooting by Andrew Gaze and Joe Stevens. Yeah, pretty much. And now here's Outlaw with the dunk. Patterson for 3. No, he misses. Now here's Steve Smith. Blocked by Rashard Lewis. What a block by Lewis. And now here is Lou. Nice pass. And here's James. He gets blocked himself. And now Lewis is going to have to try to block him again. And he is fouled by Tyronn Lue. That was Greg Anthony going for the basket. And he's going to miss the free throw. And we're going to have Shammond Williams and Andrew Gaze coming in. They're going to try to see if they can try to score from off the bench. Here's Shammond Williams to Jerome James. And he's able to make it 7 points. But Jerome James hasn't really been doing much. He hasn't really been playing any kind of defense. And he's not gotten any rebounds. Here's Greg Anthony. Almost makes the floater, and Rashard Lewis still couldn't get to him. Here's Shammond Williams. Pulls up for 3. Nope. Mutombo with the rebound, and Williams has not been doing very well either. Here's Jalen Rose. Goes for the 3. And here's Outlaw. He makes it himself. And now here's Shammond Williams. Goes for another 3. Oh, he makes it. Shammond Williams is now 2 for 4. Here's Rodman from Outlaw. Here's Greg Anthony. He's going to have been very aggressive today. What are they going to do with Dennis Rodman? Here's Steve Smith. And nice putback by Bo Outlaw. Here's Andrew Gaze. He is checked in. Lewis for 3. And out of bounds. And now it's Hawks basketball. Sonics are not playing any better, even with their sharpshooters. Checking in. It's going to be a very long game for Seattle. Big men assist. Dennis Rodman is 4th in assists. Timeout called by Atlanta. Very strange timeout. We got 3 sharpshooters. Jalen Rose gets it into Greg Anthony. Now here's Bo Outlaw. That's a foul. And blocked by Gaze. Rebound Rodman. Now here's Andrew Gaze. Rashard Lewis for 3. No, in and out. And now here's Greg Anthony, and he's going to get the lay-in. And now the lead is now exploding and ballooning to 20. Gaze for 3. And here's Jerome James. Tips it. And here's Rodman with the pass to James, and that's going to be foul. James at the line makes the first free throw. And James again. He now has 9 points. Andrew Gaze has now 10 points. I think he's already the more efficient scorer than Sean Resprit. And then here's Mutombo. He makes it. Nearly a 20-point game. This is just an absolute embarrassment. Gaze for 3. And he makes it. Andrew Gaze with 13 points. Playing much better than Sean Resprit. Here's Jalen Rose with a jumper. And Lewis with the rebound. And now here's Dennis Rodman. James goes for the lay-in. Gets his own rebound. And he makes it. Nice hustle play by Jerome James. He has now 8 points in the paint. He has now 11 points total. He has stepped up in the second half. And here's Dikembe Mutombo. Now here's Greg Anthony for 3. Gaze for 3. Not a chance. And now it's Steve Smith. Here's Jerome James. He failed. And it's time to bring the starters back. And blocked by Rodman. And now here is Rashard Lewis to Shammond Williams. Gaze going for the deep 3. No. Rodman with the rebound. And let's get it to Shammond Williams. Back to Rashard Lewis. And now they lose the ball. Now here is Steve Smith. And Lewis with the chase down block. And now here is Gaze. Gets it to Jerome James. And he makes the lay-in. And that should get the Sonics fans more excited. Jerome James with 13 points. But the team is gassing out right now. Now here's a 3-pointer. No, and here's Mutombo. And he makes it. We're going to try Greg Foster, and timeout has been called. Now here's Jamie Watson. He's checking back in. Watson only has 4 points. He is very much disappointed in this game. Patterson for 3. And he is not making anything. He is not a consistent 3-point shooter. He's 1 for 5. Now here's Bennett. Here's West. Here's Johnston. Goes for the jumper and he makes it. Now here's Jamie Watson again. So Mario Bennett's going to post up. And he makes the hook shot. Gray takes it up. And Watson's kind of falling off. Points in the paint. Oh my goodness. Nice slick pass. And now it just keeps ballooning to 20. Jamie Watson's being heavily guarded. Greg Foster, he's fouled, and that counts, and he is going to go to the line, drawing the foul on Dikembe Mutombo, as Greg Foster has just checked in, and he makes his basket. 88-71 Atlanta. And out of bounds, and now it's Sonics basketball. Jamie Watson was able to somehow force Greg Anthony to make a really bad pass, a skill that he has defensively. Stevens, a quick 3. He makes it. And now it's a 14-point game, considering that it was a 20-point game. So they have brought it down. Here's Joe Stevens. Steve Smith. Here's Jalen Rose for 3. And here's Bo Outlaw. And that is going to count, and the foul. Fouled by Foster. He'll go to the line. Now here's Jamie Watson's going to try it again. Stevens for 3. And he misses. And a foul being committed. And Jamie Watson's now down to foul number. He's up to foul number 4 as he is in extreme foul trouble. And makes both free throws as the lead is ballooning close to 20. And gets it to Greg Foster. He is fouled, and he will go to the line. Fouled by Jalen Rose. Greg Foster makes his free throw. He makes it again. Greg Foster, he got to the Seattle SuperSonics. It was through the Hersey Hawkins trade where the Jazz actually gave up 2 first-round picks and Greg Foster to get Hersey Hawkins. Believes that he could be a solid scorer and defender off the bench. Greg Anthony for 3. And now Bennett with the rebound. And here comes Joe Stevens over to Watson. And he makes that aggressive lay-in. And now only seconds left. And here's Steve. No, he loses it. And now here it comes. And now the throw. Oh, no. So close. What are we going to do here? I think they're going to start out with Watson. Now it's a 15-point game. Lewis for 3. He makes it. Rashard Lewis with 19 points. I think they're going to put Gaze as a shooting guard. I don't think Ruben Patterson's really been doing much at all. And a steal by Jamie Watson. Should have been a kickball violation, but he makes it anyway. And now it is a 10-point game. Watson with 8 points. Still playing very aggressive despite being in heavy foul trouble. He is causing disruption on Greg Anthony. And he is able to, no, he will not be able to float it in. And now, no, they lose the ball. And now here's Anthony. And Mutombo makes it. Mutombo with 17 points and 10 rebounds. Now here's Jerome James. And he's fouled and he makes it and go to the line. And Mutombo could not believe it for a 3-point play. And Jerome James gets it. He has now 16 points. Jerome James has been one of the more exciting rookie centers in the NBA. And now here is Anthony. And he is fouled by Gaze. He will go to the line as he makes the free throw. And he makes it again. Now there's Jamie Watson. Lewis for a 3. No, Dennis Rodman with the rebound. Gets it to James, who's able to make it. James has now 18 points. Nice assist by Dennis Rodman. Brings it to within single digits. And listen to the crowd. They are going absolutely nuts. Fans are cheering. Gaze guarding. And now here's Jalen Rose. Perkins with the rebound. And no, Crawford. He's able to get it in on a missed assignment. There's Jamie Watson. Dennis Rodman trying to lay it in. No, he's going to miss. By the way, Sam Perkins, the former Seattle Supersonic. Here's Jalen Rose. And he's able to make that in. Jamie Watson gets it to Rodman. He'll pass it to Gaze for 3 and misses. Gaze is now struggling in the fourth quarter. Here's Rodman, or Smith from Rodman, trying to draw the foul on him. And now he tries to post up, and he is going to miss. And now here is Jerome James. Gets it to Rashard Lewis. That was Jamie Watson actually making the basket. Jamie Watson now has 10 points. And timeout's been called by Seattle. What should I do with this lineup? I think they want Shammond Williams, get him some firepower. How many assists does Jamie Watson have? He has now 8 assists, but 4 turnovers, 3 steals. Lewis has 3 blocks. James has no blocks so far, but he has 18 points. As he has really been on the rise for the Sonics. James is still in. Here's Steve Smith posting up on Andrew Gaze. He was double teamed, and Rodman with the rebound. And now here comes Rashard Lewis. He might be able to take it all the way. He's fouled, and he will go to the line. And he misses the free throw. And makes it this time. And now he only has, they are now down by 10. Here's Greg Anthony being guarded by Shammond Williams. Double team effort. And here's Steve Smith. He is fouled by Rodman, and he will go to the line. And he makes the free throw. And he makes it again. Now here's Shammond Williams to Jerome James, guarded by Perkins. That should have been an easy one, considering that Perkins is not a good defender at all. Now here's Jalen Rose, blocked by Lewis. That is now his 4th block of the game. And now here is Shammond Williams. Here's the 3-pointer. No, he's going to miss it. Shammond Williams has really been struggling in this game. And now here's Greg Anthony. Bo Outlaw, he makes the jumper, and now timeout's been called by Seattle. Absolute disappointment. I think they're going to give it to Alton Lister and Bennett. They're going to give Rodman some rest. Andrew Gaze is still in. Maybe they'll give Joe Stevens a chance. Here's Gaze for 3. He makes it. And I think they're going to try Rashard Lewis, Stevens, Gaze, Stevens, and Lewis. And the foul. They're going to try to go a little bit small. Here's Bennett. And Lister, he gets rejected. And there's Andrew Gaze. He is wide open. Was open. Williams for 3. And Williams now has 9 points. He is 3 for 6 from downtown. Still able to score. Now here's Jalen Rose. Now here's Jalen Rose again. He makes it. Williams for 3. And he brings it to within 10 points. And now Steve Smith, he makes it, but the Sonics are still trying to remain competitive. Gaze for 3. He makes it. Andrew Gaze has now 19 points. He has just been absolutely on fire. And now they're going to try to get Jerome James back because they need some help in the post. And now it's a jump shot being made near Shammond Williams to Lewis for 3. And they get the ball back as Alton Lister was able to force something. Back to Williams. Lewis for 3. And he misses. Here's Mutombo, blocked by James. But Jalen Rose gets the rebound and the score. Now here's Jerome James with the dunk. They really needed him to do that. And now James has 20 points, just like Rashard Lewis does. But I think they're going to take him out because he has struggled in the fourth quarter. Watson's in foul trouble, so they don't want to risk anything. They're really just holding the ball. Near Steve Smith with the jumper. And rebound Stevens. Here comes Andrew Gaze. Rashard Lewis and Gaze was kind of open. Lewis for 3. And Rashard Lewis brings it to within 8 points. And now Mutombo, no. Seattle only has 2 timeouts. I don't think they're going to burn too much of it. Now here's Joe Steve. No, that's a turnover. And Greg Anthony now has control of the ball. Mutombo and Steve Smith. Jalen Rose. And here's Anthony for 3. No, and Lewis with the rebound. But time is severely running out. Williams for 3. He makes it to bring it to within 7. Sonics just will not go away without a fight. And fouled by Gaze. Now we're going to talk free throws at this point. As seconds are going down. And fouled by Watson. He is on his 5th foul. We'll go to the line. I think it's going to be all Shammond Williams at this point. Now here's Williams. He's going to bring it up. Goes for a 3. And nope, that should probably do it. I think that will just seal the game right there. Near steal by Rodman. I think they're just completely out of time. And nope, they can't get the steal. And now Williams fouls it. And now it's just a free throw parade. Greg Anthony has heavily contributed for Atlanta. Anthony has scored 21 points on his return to Seattle. Now here's Jerome James. Or Greg Anthony makes the free throw. And let's see if Andrew Gaze can make the shot. Goes for a jumper. He won't make it. As Atlanta defeats the Seattle SuperSonics 122-111. A very disappointing game for Seattle as they now have lost 3 in a row. The player of the game will go to Greg Anthony. How does Wilkins do? Wilkins didn't even score. He played only 4 minutes. Very sad. Lewis had 4 blocks. Gaze was 19 points. All right, now I'm going to exit the game. Yeah, Sonics. Oh my goodness. Oh, prospect scouting. What do we got? Man, I gotta get some sleep. It's a warm welcome as all right. Who wants to evaluate Chris Anderson? No, Palacio, Harold Jameson. Steve Francis has already been checked. Frederick Weiss. What? Are you serious? Andrew Gaze just got injured. And he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. What a joke. He just sustained an injury. Oh my goodness. I have to write another article. Ah. An already shooting standout Andrew Gaze will miss 6 to 8 weeks due to a high ankle sprain. Oh man, now I have to adjust it manually. All right. So bye bye, Andrew Gaze. Sean Respert will get his time back. That's just sad. I'm gonna take out Alton Lister. I couldn't be any more angry that I just lost Andrew Gaze to injury. He was scoring 16 points a game on 52% shooting. 52% from three-pointer. It seems he was going to make Sean Respert an afterthought, but unfortunately, Andrew Gaze sustained injury, which could still. That's not good. Andrew Gay's even a real guy, too? I guess so. And how old is Andrew Gaze? He was 33 years old. Wow. That's crazy. He's an Australian player who never he played for the San Antonio Spurs for like a split. So he was a champion in '99. I had no idea. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make this into a Sonics logo. I'm gonna do ChatGPT. Put a late '90s Sonics jersey on this guy and have the background as the 1990s Sonics Key Arena. Okay, let's see if this ChatGPT can do its magic. Not that I expect it to. Come on, what does this ChatGPT do anything? Yeah, he's out for some time. It's really sad. So it's gonna be the Seattle SuperSonics against the Miami Heat. I wonder how I got Andrew Gaze in the first place. Signed Andrew Gaze on the 19th as a joke, really. That's funny. Anyways, I am going to take off. So it's going to be Seattle against Miami. I haven't chosen when I'm going to do it. Probably going to be Friday at this point, but I'm not sure. I will say updated as always. But everyone have a good night. And of course, go Sonics. Oh, what's up? Man, I missed. Yeah, I'm about to take off, man, but join me for my next show.